Welcome to the 11th week after Pentecost. It's Tuesday, August the 6th, 2024. This is the Manna at the Tap podcast, where we as a community actively seek the spiritual nourishment our souls crave. I'm Gloria, your fellow traveler on this spiritual journey, and together we offer and receive insights and interpretations from the daily lectionary readings, which provide the manna designed to nurture our spiritual growth. King David stayed home and did not lead his army into battle in the spring as kings did. Instead, he sent them out with his commander-in-chief Joab. And then he laid around till the afternoon, and then went out on the rooftop of his house, where he yielded to the temptation of his eyes, seizing Uriah's wife, Bathsheba. The lectionary text today is 2 Samuel chapter 13, verses 1 to 19. And it is a despicable tale of a son acting like his father, causing irreparable damage to an innocent person. The narrative concerns Tamar, one of King David's daughters, who's described as a virgin and beautiful. Absalom, David's most handsome son, is her brother, and Amnon, David's firstborn and heir to the throne, loves her and passionately desires her, but he feels she's not available to him. She was his half-sister. One of his peers noticed his downcast countenance and asked him what was happening. He told him he was in love with Tamar, his brother Absalom's sister. Jonadab devised a plan to make Tamar available to him. The person who would negotiate and be the go-between would be King David, who unwittingly helped Amnon succeed in the plot planned by Jonadab. Amnon was to go to bed and pretend to be ill. And when King David came to visit, he was to ask if his sister Tamar could prepare a meal in front of him so he could watch her and then eat it from her hand. David agreed and sent word for Tamar to go and prepare food for him. The scheme was working. When she arrived at the house, Amnon was lying down. She prepared the bread in his sight, baked it, and served it, but he refused to eat. Then Amnon abruptly sent everyone else out of the bedroom, leaving Tamar alone. He grabbed her, demanding that she lie with him. Tamar tried to resist his advance, but since he was stronger than she, he raped her. The rape was more than an act of sexual exploitation. It was an act of the strong against the weak. Let's take a closer look at how the narrative unfolds. When Tamar arrived, Amnon was lying down as she prepared the food in full view of him. Her very presence was sexually arousing him, and he patiently waited for the bread to be kneaded and baked. He admired her beauty, focusing on his next move and ignoring her culinary skills. When he dismissed everyone from the room, he also rejected her companions who would have been accompanying her. Tamar was beautiful and a royal princess. She is the focus of Amnon's attention, but she is unaware of it. She's just obeying her father and preparing a meal. He refused the meal and instead took hold of her, calling her his sister to come to bed with him as he overpowered her. Tamar fought back by saying no to the attack, and she gave reasons why it should not happen. Do not violate me, for such a thing is not done in Israel, because we are God's people. Tamar became aware of what was about to take place, and she said, "This is wrong, it is wicked, and it is outrageous." She told him to think about the implications for him, because he was going to be the one to be the next king, and to think about the implications for her. She would have no place to go and hide her shame. And so she suggested he ask the king for her hand in marriage as a last ditch attempt. But that fell on deaf ears. He would not listen to her. He violated her and lay with her. Once the rape was over, he intensely hated her, demanding that she get up and get out. Again, she tried to save herself by telling him not to send her away, because that would be even worse than what just happened to her. He humiliated her by calling his servant to get her out and bolting the door after her. Does he think she's coming back and he wants the door bolted? No. He wants to create the impression in the community that he needed to get her out because she was the seducer and he the victim. Tamar came to Amnon's home wearing the clothes that expressed her status as a princess and the daughter of the king. But no outfit could cover her shame. So she did the only thing that she could do. She put ashes on herself. She tore her robe. She laid her hand on her head and went away, weeping aloud as she went. The lectionary text has ended here, so we can absorb all that has happened and ponder Tamar's fate. That will come in a reading during the 12th week after Pentecost.